What is going on, guys? We're back again for another Power Hour stream. Lots of action today, actually. Today's actually been a pretty fun day to do analysis. I've been posting a ton of stuff in Discord if you guys haven't checked it out already. If you guys are in Discord, really good content in the stock analysis channel. If you guys are ever wondering like how I do my analysis when I'm day trading and like what levels I look for, how I read trend, whatever, anything that revolves around doing analysis on a basically um, from point to point, and there's many different points obviously in the day. Um, there's tons of content right there in that channel, so make sure to check it out. You can see a lot of my drawings from earlier today, basically all over the chart. We've been reading a bunch of this stuff. Um, latest signal we got was this little failure. Where's my drawing tool? This little failure we had, the retest of this level around 247. We also had a very nice bullish channel going up into VWAP. Popped out of the channel, tested VWAP, tested the 200 EMA, instantly failed it. Came down, tried to hold the support, broke the cloud, retested the level, failed. Retested the level again, failed. Retested it again, failed. So buyers are getting beat at every single opportunity. And now we're coming into a lower test of the VWAP, so we'll see how it reacts to this lower band. We've already had one exit earlier today, right after lunchtime, which led us into that bullish bounce. We'll see how it reacts to this low of day here. We're testing low of day right now. We actually are breaking low of day. You can see the volume starting to come in. We do have a new low of day. New low of day is the current candle. Those buyers and the sellers are still in the market in the book. I mean, we saw those two orders, 20,000 each, sitting in the book yesterday. Still sitting in the book, 243 and 249, 20,000 each. No relief just yet. Most of the volume on the sell side. We're outside the value area low. Have a strong node in the value area low around 246. Going to act as resistance if we do try to push higher. Big buys coming in here. Lots of green coming in. Hey, Risaki, what's going on, man? Lots of buys came in there. Yeah, we had a couple of 2,000 buys, 1,400, 1,000, 1,000. Pretty good buys. From US, man. East Coast US. Still bouncing off that level we had marked out in the Discord. Around, what is that, 245.85. Bouncing off that level pretty much perfectly. Nice little bounce so far. You did sweep the low of day. So we can mark out this original low of day here. You can see we swept the low and now we're retracing back to that previous resistance. Watch the cloud. Watch around 247. Gonna see some sellers step in. Buyers already getting smacked down. No thick orders on the buy side or the sell side really until you get to those 220,000 orders. You have a couple of decent orders around the 246 range. Got about 1,500 there, 1,000 there. That's not a whole lot on SPY though. I've just been playing the bearish plays, Rasaki. I think it's just going to continue to go down. The stimulus might provide a little bit of relief, but I think that relief already came. I think the relief that we saw on that bounce from the bottom was the stimulus being priced in. I don't think it's going to see much more of a bounce until we see another failure. So I'm betting on it going down. That's basically my only current predictions. I'm not trying to look too far into the future because it's changing on a day-to-day basis. There's different stories coming in every single day. There's different policies being put forward every day. So this is not the time that you want to be doing long-term predictions. You want to be watching it on a very short basis because it is changing from day to day. But my current bias is definitely bearish. Looks like we're going for another low of day here. Really sucks that we missed out on those trades yesterday. We'd easily be 100% profitable on those trades. We could hold them to expiration with little to no risk. We are up today about 5% on the portfolio just on my SPY puts, so my longer term SPY puts. So if we had those short term trades as well as the long term trades making profit, we'd already be we'd probably be at my monthly goal almost in just that. In one day, first day of the month, we'd be basically at our monthly goal. So I'm trying to do about 25 to 30% this month. We're already up 5, so we're doing pretty good. Got to keep it steady. But yeah, with those two trades, let me think. We'd probably be at about 20%, probably like 17 to 20% if they closed 100% profitable, which they pretty much guaranteed are. But I missed my fills on those. So thinking if I lowered my bids, they get filled, they close 100% profitable, it'd be about 15 to 20%. The Roku short and the Snapchat short. Snapchat playing to our levels perfectly here. Tried to short Snapchat around 1240. Broke this channel. I told you guys in Discord that if we broke this channel, it's looking really bad. I gave you guys some lower levels to watch in the Discord. Roku, same thing. You kind of had that line in the sand right around that gap. You tried to regain the gap. You trapped it a little bit, and then you failed. Now we're looking pretty bad on Roku as well. Here we go, new low of day. If you're talking about getting a loan to trade, I highly recommend to not do that. Getting loans to trade is a recipe for disaster. I've never heard of a good story of somebody getting a loan to trade and them actually doing well. They typically always lose the money that they took the loan, and then now they're sitting in debt. You're basically trading with other people's money. So it's not a good idea. Yeah, definitely don't recommend that. Yeah, but that's still trading. If you're taking a loan out to invest in like Bitcoin or stocks, unless you know what you're doing, it's very, very risky. Now, obviously, it could pay off. You could do well, but you got to think about what if that doesn't pay off? That's not your money. How are you going to pay back the loan if your trades go poorly? I've heard horror stories, man, about people doing that. So I'm just telling you, I'm not going to stop you. I can't stop you. It's your decision. But do some research and really know what you're doing before you finally decide on that. Hey, turn up, what's going on, man? He said, considering Bitcoin has been tracking SPY literally down to 5 minute candles, and some people think it could be desperation levels, markets, we could see SPY and Bitcoin with a, yeah. So basically, what Turnip's saying is it's been correlating with SPY. If SPY continues to go lower, Bitcoin's going to continue to go lower. Jesus, look at Carnival. I almost shorted Carnival yesterday, and I didn't like the chart, and I just avoided it and went to trade Roku and Snapchat. I was testing out the orders on Robinhood, clicking my spreads and seeing what I could get for them, and none of them sounded like a good trade, so I just didn't take it. Look at that though, down 27%. Carnival is only like 2x its I always say ICO because it's crypto IPO price. Back when they started on the New York Stock Exchange, they opened it around $4. They're at less than $10. Look at this on a log scale. This is crazy. They're getting back to their IPO. Carnival is getting destroyed. It's a cruise line industry. Cruises are shut down right now because of the coronavirus. If Carnival can survive, they're a very good dip buy. The cruise lines are probably one of the best one of the best buy the dip opportunities if they survive. And that's a strong if. I don't think this recent stimulus bill is helping the cruise lines because the cruise lines, they avoid paying US taxes. They do not register in the United States because they want to avoid employment laws. So they basically try to avoid the United States at all cost. But now they want us to help them because they're going bankrupt. I don't think I haven't heard anything about the cruise lines. I don't think they're being helped in this stimulus bill. In Carnival, all the cruises actually, they make most of their money in the summer, right? That's when people want to go on cruises. They make a lot of money in like April, May, June, July. If they can't get back and running in the summer, they're going to miss their biggest quarter of the year. And they don't have a lot of cash on hand. Let's take a look at FinViz. Let's see how much cash Carnival has on hand. Yeah, they don't have a lot of cash. Their fundamentals are not bad. That's the thing about Carnival. Their fundamentals are really not bad. But they're getting destroyed because of the virus. They don't have very good margins either. They're not bad margins, but they're not very good. Their market cap is currently only 10 billion. They did 20 billion in sales last year. I think that's last year, not last quarter. Pretty sure there's no way that's quarter. They don't have a lot of debt. They have a decent amount of debt, but not a lot. Norwegian's another one. What's Norwegian? It's in NCL or Norwegian. No, it's NCLH. They're another cruise line that's getting obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. But yeah, these could be really good opportunities. If they survive the dip, could be really good opportunities. Definitely keep an eye on them. All right, let's keep an eye on SPY here. You've already made a second new low of day. He said, I think the cruise line companies shouldn't be bailed out. They should ask the countries that they sail under, do their tax under for bailouts. Exactly. I agree, dude. It really sucks because they're good companies. They're not failing because they're bad companies. They're failing because of the virus. So it really sucks for them and their employees. But to basically disrespect the United States by avoiding all taxes and not registering in the US and basically avoiding the US at every chance you can get, but then crying back to us for money, that doesn't look right to me. So I agree. I think they should be bailed out by the countries that they are registered under, the countries that they pay taxes to. I do agree. Big sells coming in here. Looks like SPY is trying to get a new low of day. It's struggling to get below the lower VWAP band, though, because we don't have a lot of volume. Not a whole lot of volume on either side here. Buyers are starting to come in, though. You want to keep an eye on this lower range here. You've already been retested. This right here is the low of day, or the old low of day. So to recap a little bit how the day went, for anybody who was not able to trade today, you gap down, really strong gap down, due to President Trump's news conference yesterday. They were talking about the coronavirus and how many deaths they're projecting. They're projecting 100,000 to about 250,000 deaths if their guidelines are followed and the states are following all the rules and policies that are being put in place to protect people from the virus. So even on the low side, they're projecting 100 to 250,000 deaths. So that's pretty damn high compared to where we are now. And we had a massive gap down because of that. It tried to find some buyers, tried to be bullish towards the start of the day. You were above VWAP for most of the day. You can see how you were mostly green. Had a few little red pullbacks, but you were above VWAP. And then we finally we started pushing outside of the VWAP bands. We talked about this in Discord multiple times when Each time it tries to push out of the VWAP band, it pulls back and goes closer to VWAP, right? And then we called this one out in Discord. I told you guys it was pushing outside of VWAP. Very likely it was going to retrace because there was little to no volume. So during this push out, there's little to no volume to hold it outside that upper VWAP band, right? So we failed back down, tried to bounce off VWAP, a lot of sell pressure coming in. Same exact thing. You tried to gain VWAP, you tried to regain it with little to no volume. You can't do that. So you stayed below the cloud, failed downward, retested this support back on the kind of like the low of day from the beginning of the day. Retested the support, bounced up. You were not able to regain VWAP. Failed back off this sell pressure. Got below that level, used that level as resistance, so you SR flipped this level. Failed downward, put in a new low of day, broke VWAP again, the lower VWAP band. Tried to regain, and then you just nuked way below VWAP. You had that breach of the lower VWAP band, sold off pretty strongly. Then you really found some buyers and you started to get bullish. You retraced into the band, and then you created this kind of parallel channel. You regained that lower level from when you broke down out of VWAP. Shot all the way up to the VWAP and the 200 EMA. We nuked off of VWAP, right basically on VWAP. This is VWAP, right to the red line. So we nuked right off of VWAP. Broke the 200 EMA, turned red on the OTS, tried to find support off that original level, and then we flipped that level, and now we're seeing the breakdown after flipping that level. That's basically a recap of the entire day. So we do have a nice little support resistance flip here, SR flip coming in. You are trying to find some buyers. You can see the OTS is turning green. Not a whole lot of volume though. So once again, if you try to reclaim the cloud, try to reclaim that level, you don't have any buyers here. There's not a lot of volume. So until you find some volume, until you start to reverse, it's just going to continue lower. So we'll keep an eye on it here. You can see the sellers are starting to come in. 1,100 on the bid. Tons of sellers here, 1,700, 1,616. Sellers coming in. You can see it flashing red on the time and sales. We have about 40 minutes until the close. Typically, if the Fed comes in and buys up the lows, typically around 340, 350, or 355. So we'll keep an eye on those levels. Sellers starting to come in here. So basically, I wouldn't be bullish unless you got some kind of bull div or you reclaimed that 246.38 level. We have not been able to regain the 10 EMA on the 50-minute all the way down, basically. Pretty bearish. 1 hour is flipping bearish. 4 hours flipping bearish again. The daily has been bearish the entire time. This daily candle is horrendous. Seeing this daily candle with this long wick, this long gap down, and then continuing to fail lower, this is a very, very bad candle for the bulls. It is very unlikely that we reclaim this weekly. So what's today? Wednesday? You have the rest of today, tomorrow, and Friday to reclaim this weekly. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Now, one thing that is slightly bullish for the bulls We have a new monthly candle, and it's outside the monthly Bollinger Band low. So the low of the Bollinger Band on the monthly, it's 248. This is using my faster Bollinger Band. You could go to like the default Bollinger, around 20, and then you're just on that low. But if you use the faster settings, I use a 12. We're just outside that low. So it is slightly bullish. You're a little extended, but we just started the month. So we could easily do what we did last month where we saw that long bottom wick. We could fail down to the lows and then towards the end of the month try to recover into the Bollinger Band. It is very, very rare that you close outside the lower Bollinger. Even on the monthly, you can see it is very rare. You can go back all the way to like the 2000s. But this is a very rare scenario that we're seeing right now. So I would not rely too heavily on historical price action to match what we're seeing today. Because what we're seeing today is unlike anything we've seen in decades to come. In decades prior, I mean. So don't rely too heavily on historical price action. We're getting a new low of day here. Sell volume coming in right on the bottom of the Bollinger. Or sorry, the bottom of the VWAB band. It could get down to this support around 243. Oh, they just pulled their wall, actually. They just pulled their wall right as I said that. That 20,000 buy wall is gone. Big volume coming in here. Look at this volume. Big sellers, 16,000 coming in on this low. You don't like to stay outside the bottom of the VWAB band, so you will ride this band all the way down if you are bearish. You'll retrace a little bit. Sometimes you can reverse off of it like we saw here. But you do not like to stay outside of it. It's very rare to stay outside of it. You'd have to see exceptional volume to stay outside of it. We are seeing some pretty decent volume on the sell side, so they could keep this below the band if they wanted to. Yeah, they're nuking this here. Our puts are doing very well. The last time I checked them, I closed down my Robinhood. But the last time I checked, I can actually check on my phone. We were up 50% already on our 230 puts that got filled yesterday. Yeah, we're up 66% on the 230 puts. The 203 puts are up 80% today. 84%. They're doing very well. We're up 6.5% on the day. Just on those two puts alone. Here's some buyers stepping in towards the outside of the band here. I don't see any... I'm on log. I don't see any major supports below. Where are our supports? We have a support around 241. We have one around 235. Here is the 241. Here is the 235. Nothing below 235. You could take this range high back here. You could also take the point of origin on the low, 228, 220. Those are all the major levels that we're watching. No buy pressure coming in. Take a look at the indicators. Any bull divs? 1 hour, no bull div. 15-minute, very, very slight bull div, but it's not confirmed yet. 5-minute, very slight bull div. You probably will see a little bit of a bounce here. 1 minute, very slight bull div. You also have a 1-minute pivot coming in. You might see a small bounce towards like 245.5, 246. Strong 5-minute pivot got rejected pretty much to the absolute dollar. Look at that. Almost a perfect retest that pivot. This is the 5-minute on the indicators. If you look at the whole day on the SPY, you were basically red the entire day. You had a couple of green spots. You had a small green spot there, a small green spot there. But check these green spots. This green spot here had a sell signal on the trail, nuke downward, formed that pivot. This green spot here had multiple sell signals and you retested the pivot. So both of these were clearly, even on the Momo, were clearly bull traps. So very clean bearish day that we're seeing right now. About as clean as you're going to get. Let's take a look at the implied volatility. Has implied volatility gone up a lot today on SPY? No, it's actually gone down 38%. Implied volatility currently sitting at 57%. That buyer came back. The 20,000 buyer has come back at 240. He was at 243. Is that right, guys? I think he was like 243, 244. Now he's down to 240. So he lowered his bid. Got about half an hour left. The first Fed buy window is coming in 10 minutes. We'll see if the Fed buys today. They did buy yesterday, so if you guys caught that on stream yesterday, I think it was at 350. We saw a massive Fed buy. Disgustingly thick 5-minute cloud ahead. 50-minute cloud is getting pretty ugly as well. This looks like a perfect 15-minute bull div pattern. I'm not sure exactly what they're buying turnip, but they are doing a lot of repos, which basically means they're upgrading their assets, and they're buying a bunch of equities off the market to hold in their assets. You can find more about it if you look up like Fed repos. Basically, they're pumping money into the market is what they're doing. Very strong downtrend we have here. Big buyers coming in here. Like I said, it does not like to stay outside of that VWAP band. Instantly getting nuked, though. You have a little bit of a falling wedge like we saw when we first pumped. You saw the same thing back here. Kind of a falling wedge down, then you channeled upwards. you could begin to channel kind of off of this. Hey, Josh, what's going on, man? So if this wants to follow what it did earlier today, where you broke that channel, or you broke the falling wedge, and then you entered kind of an accumulation upward, you could see that here if we break the wedge and then retest, and then push higher. There are small divs. We talked about the 1 minute, the 5 minute. I think there's a 15, very small one. But the higher time frames are all very bearish. There's still decent sell volume. It's being battled here. The buyers are definitely trying to hold it. What do we have? 5 minutes until that first Fed window comes in. No bulls really coming in. You can see the OTS. It will turn green if those bulls really start to come in. We have no green here. We haven't had a green bar on the 5 minute since basically the start of the day. Or no, it's about... What is that about? Well, that's 2 p.m., a couple hours ago. Coming in for a new low of day. Watch the volume here. Big buyer coming in here. Look at these buyers. Look at these buyers. Huge. That was 150,000 on the buy side. They pulled off though. Look at all that red. A lot of sells coming in. The buyers are trying to hold this so it doesn't break into a new low, but they're not really succeeding. Three minutes until that Fed window. New low of day. How are the other... Jesus, Carnival down 30%. Boeing's down 12. Ford's down 9. Roku getting obliterated, down 6. Snapchat's down 6. Bang is down 4. Everything's crumbling here. Roku tried to bounce early in the day and nuked right off of VWAP though. Same thing with Snapchat, tried for an early bounce Not doing too good. If Carnival survives, it will have a hell of a year next year. I think their stock will do pretty damn good next year if they survive. Big volume coming in. Breaking into a new low of day. No big buyers on the bid. Big sells coming in here. You're outside the VWAP band again. Keep an eye on the volume. If the volume dries up, it will retrace. Major volume coming in. I think this is one of the highest volume candles we've had today. This is the second or third largest volume candle of the day. Where's our next support? Next support is at 241. It could fall down to 241 pretty easily here. There is not a whole lot of support in between 241. You have a little bit of a support around 243, but not too strong. There goes the alerts on Robinhood. I'm getting alerts on my phone. SPY down 5% today. So all the Robinhood users are getting alerted. Look at this volume coming in. The volume is not drying up. Massive sells. More volume in this minute candle than the last. Like I said, not a lot of support here. You're outside the VWAP band, but that's about it. Maybe a retrace to 2448. Watch that VWAP band. It tried to get back into that VWAP, getting sold off already. There is no reason to be bullish here. If you are bullish on SPY, there is no reason to be bullish on these small time frames. Absolutely no reason. It could find a small bounce here into the VWAP lower band, but besides that, there is nothing. You could get back above 245. That's where you'd want to start being bullish. Retrace above 246.50. That would really look good. But besides that, all bearish. Don't fall in love with your positions. If you're trying to be bullish on SPY and you're getting killed because everyone is selling here. Don't fall in love with trying to be bullish here. There's nothing about this that looks bullish to me. You started off the day with a massive gap down. You had a small bear flag up, retraced, nuked VWAP, marked down, tried to reaccumulate, nuked VWAP again. Now we're having another markdown. There is nothing bullish about this. You could see a nice accumulation start to come in here off this markdown. Then you could start to look to be bullish. If you break this downtrend, if you break the original low of day, if you break the cloud all the way up to 246.50, that's how you'd be bullish. There's nothing bullish about this. Do not fall in love with your positions. Still nuking, going for another low of day. Like I said, our next support, 241. Small support at 243. Let's take a look at the indicators, see if we have any divs coming in. 1 minute still maintaining that small div, but it's not playing it out. A little bit of a pivot coming in. 5 minute bottom warning, being exhausted on the Momo. Same thing on 15, getting exhausted. Same thing on the 1 hour. But typically, when you start to form this exhaustion, that's when it really gets ugly if the sellers come in. You can see back here, we started to form that exhaustion. It got really ugly before it bottomed. So keep an eye on that. This does not mean it's going to bottom immediately. You've already broken that 1 minute pivot. You have a new low of day. The Fed missed their window at 340. They did not come in and buy this. Next window is 350. Buys down 5.3% on the day, 13 points. New low of day. Absolutely cracking. Big buys trying to come in here. They just got obliterated. Unless they market bought there, they just got destroyed. Looks like they got sold into. $240, massive buyer, 20,000 shares. You're still outside that VWAP band, so if you see the volume start to dry up, you will retrace to that band. Here you go. There's the band. Watch for the test of the downtrend. Failing the band already. Decent buys coming in, though. You probably will start to consolidate, or you will break this band here. Watch the lower cloud. Watch that original low of day. There you go. Strong volume coming in here. This might be a Fed 245, 345. That might be a Fed window. I'm not sure if they have a window at 345, but that might have been the Fed. Yeah, I think that's the Fed. You typically don't see buying like that. What time is it? 345? Yeah, that's probably the Fed. Still no green on the OTS. You're already nuking these buys. There's the retest of the trend, though. Watch this trend. You could hold this trend. Doesn't look like it wants to. Watch the indicator. It will alert you if it starts to get bullish. You're shifting from red to gray. You are seeing a lot of buyers come in, but they have not taken control yet. Yeah, they're getting destroyed. I think that was the highest volume of the day. Yep, that was the highest volume of the day, except for the opening candle. Or no, that is the highest volume. The opening candle, or no, the opening candle was still higher. Let me mark the opening candle. So that is the highest volume of the day, 1.6 million on the opening candle. Buyers trying to claim this here. You can see the difference in volume on the 5-minute. A lot of volume came in there on the lows. Watch the cloud, watch the original low of day. Big buys coming in here. What time is it? 3:48. Failed the original low of day. Are you flipping bullish yet? Let's see. What do we say? 243 was a small support. You are trying to flip bullish here on the short term. Very nice bottom here. So far, creating about a 1% buy. You want to see how this first pullback reacts. Hasn't given you a first pullback yet. This is sharp. Like I said, these volume, when you're outside that lower band, you always have to be careful trading against the trend. Or sorry, trading with the trend. If you're outside the band, you want to be careful trading with the trend, as we saw on that initial high of day. The high of day and the low of day and the original low of day, they all have the same thing in common. They all were outside the VWAP band. Failing that original level. I want to see how this first pullback reacts. Is the first pullback just going to instantly retrace? Or is it going to be more of a bull flag? There's your answer. Look at that 1-minute gravestone. 1-minute gravestone, incredibly bearish. What time is it? 3:51. Didn't seem like the Fed bought that up at 350. Looks like the cloud is getting ready to flip green. You have less than 10 minutes left on the day. You're going to close down at least 4% negative. About 4.5% negative right now. Pretty incredible how it's flip-flopping so easily. Let's keep an eye on the big orders. Let's go to over 1K. Let's watch the big orders here. There you go. Big buys coming in. So you've broken your downtrend. You've retraced. Watch the 200 EMA. You're still not liking this original low. So that bull div that we called out actually played out that time. Very beautiful bull div. Which one was it? Yeah, here we go. This little 1 minute bull div. You had that pivot come in. You've lost the pivot and then regained it. I think you had a 5 minute bull div as well. Very slight 5 minute bull div. Pivot came in on the low. Retesting that trail though. Watch that trail. Green cloud coming in on the 1 minute. Still not able to break the 1 minute cloud currently. That next Fed buy window, 355, coming in 10 seconds. This would actually be a beautiful time for the Fed to pump it. It already came off a very strong pump on the low. This would actually be a really nice time for them to pump it. It looks like they are as well. Yep, they are. There you go, 355 on the dot. Failing the 200 EMA though. This is what it looks like when you were competing against infinite money. SPY down 4% on the day still, even with this big pump. I think this is about a 1.5% pump so far. About 1.25. Big buys coming in. Look at the buys. There's that Fed printer. You can see the shift in the OTS, red to green. You had a small green candle there. I would not have taken that though because of the gravestone. You had an actual green candle there. Looked really good. You're not liking that level. What level is that? That's that original breakdown point. So like we talked about, same thing that happened here. You had that really strong downtrend. You exited the VWAP band. Strong accumulation to the upside. Really strong downtrend. You exited the VWAP band. Broke the trend. This isn't accumulating though. This is just pumping. This wasn't as easy as this one here. Three minutes left on the day. Looks like you're selling off right into the end of the day. That's not too good after you had that nice pump. Down 4.5%. See if you can get back below 5. Turnip, you said, wow, I just saw this. U.S. airlines are flying near empty planes because of the 2.2 trillion coronavirus package requires airlines to preserve their service capacity as of March 1st, even though this makes the airlines burn cash faster. So what does that mean? That the stimulus package is forcing them to fly their planes even when they're like 1 or 2 passengers? They're literally losing money on those flights because of the fuel. That's ridiculous. All right, here we go, guys. Last minute on the market. You're going to see a lot of volume come in here. 40 seconds remaining. Had a nice buy up there from the lows. You broke into the low a day, got slightly below 244, bounced all the way back to the 200 EMA, and then got rejected pretty hard. 20 seconds left on the day. Watch the volume come in here. There you go. Highest volume of the day, as you'll typically see on that final candle. This is the first day of Q2, of the second quarter of the year. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. There's the bell. Trading is over for the day. Let's take a look at extended hours. Selling off into extended. Turnip said, and someone was saying 2/3 of all flights are U.S. flights right now because they have more empty planes up in the air when all other countries grounded most of theirs. That's crazy. The SPY closed down about 4.5% on the day. Let's take a look at my portfolio. I closed the day up 5.3%. We are up 56% on the 230 puts, and we are up 68% on today. We're still about break even on the 203 puts. The 203 puts I'm probably going to sell for a small profit if we do continue to go down, because unless it starts to heavily sell off this week or in the start of next week, probably not going to see 203, but we'll keep an eye on them. Hey, Larone, yeah, we did really good today, man. Very good day today. We would have had a fantastic day today if we got filled on those trades yesterday. Like I said, we would have hit our monthly goal in probably the first or second day of the month. Got too greedy yesterday. Missed out on some really good trades. By the way, guys, since I do so much analysis in the stock channel, I put a new channel right below it where I'll update you guys on my positions. So like if I'm putting in trades that are not filled yet, I'll post them in the open orders channel that I created. I only post them in the equities channel and the options channel when they're filled. So when I'm placing them and they're still sitting in the open orders, I'll put them in the open orders channel so you guys aren't so confused. It's hard to keep up with all the stuff in the stock channel because I'm constantly posting analysis because I'm using the 1 minute to chart. So I'm trying to keep you guys updated throughout the entire day. We basically called out every single move today. So if anybody's day trading the SPY, if you guys are futures traders, hopefully you guys did a very good job. Because we called out pretty much the top, the high of the day. We called out that failure there, that failure there. We called out the bottom, that failure on VWAP, the the failure on this level, the failure on that level, the new low of day here. I'm going to look to get into futures trading probably next week, since I've been doing so well for predicting the intraday trades for the SPY. You can make a lot of money on options, day trading the SPY, but you can make way more money on futures. Sticky is pretty much already funded on Top Step Trader. I'm probably going to get funded on Top Step Trader as well. I'm going to try to do the funding next week. We have a couple of people in our Discord who've got funded on them as well. I'm probably going to start out with the 10K account just to do the swing trade thing, see how their little combine works, and then I'm probably going to upgrade to the 150K account once I have that 10K account running. Whoa, what the hell was that candle? Look at that extended hours candle. You gotta love after hours, man. I wonder if that was a real trade or if that was a misprint. Hey, BlockTech. Yeah, 10K as in 10,000. Yep. I don't talk about the size of my trades, BlockTech. I never have, never will. I'm not a fan of sharing. Not a fan of sharing portfolio size or trade size or anything like that. All the trades that I do in Discord for my options trade, I always show them as one contract each, so you guys can just easily multiply that by whatever contracts you want to trade. You trade 5 contracts, multiply by 5. You trade 10, multiply by 10. Never been a fan of the community that attracts, like showing off your wallet size, your net worth, all that stuff. Never a fan. Just seems arrogant to me. Still selling off in after hours. Not looking too good for tomorrow unless they do some kind of press conference today and they say some really good things to the market. Not looking too good. Now, what I might do, I was thinking about this. So going back to the topic we were just on. What I might do, and I might, this is a very, very strong might, probably still a negative. But if I get funded for the Top Step Trader account, the 150K account, or the Swing Trader account, I might show those accounts. Because you guys already know how big they are. The money's not mine, right? I'm using a funded account. So I might show those. But I still don't like the attention that it brings. I don't like the community that it brings. It just puts off the wrong message, I feel. I don't want people to think that trading is easy and it's like a get rich quick thing and people just start throwing money at me, like our business, or just throw money into their own trading account and just start losing their money because they see that I'm trading with a lot of money and they want to be like me. I don't like that. I don't want to push people in the wrong direction. Trading is not easy, guys. It is not easy. So I don't want to put off this wrong, these wrong signals that try to show you guys that trading's easy. There's nothing stopping you from copying my trades. We don't recommend. Obviously, I don't like trade following. I don't like people copying my trades, but I post all my trades to be transparent in Discord, so you guys know that I am trading. You guys know that I can be profitable. I post all my trades for the transparency aspect, but if you guys want to copy them, I can't stop you, obviously. I don't recommend it, but there's no way for me to stop you. I mean, I guess there is a way for me to stop you. If I just lose a bunch of trades, I could stop you from copying me. All right, guys, this is where we start winding it down. This is after hours, not going to get a lot of action. Going to clean up my chart for tomorrow. Probably going to get rid of all these drawings. This is basically the day today. Gonna start fresh for tomorrow like we always do, new levels. Keep you guys posted in Discord as always. I'm not getting off just yet, Block Tech. I'm going to get off here in about 15 minutes. So it's going to start winding it down. You guys have any final questions? Feel free to let me know. Look at these buys here. Is that... When was that? 414? Is that when that was? That was just now, wasn't that? That's 100. That's 500,000 there. $257. Maybe that was the long wick up. I'm confused. Didn't that say 257? Yeah, 257. They paid a massive premium for that if that's 257. Yeah, this move here is crucial. Because you had that 1 minute bull div outside that VWAP band. Beautiful. Beautiful bottom. And futures went up to 2468. Yeah, it's about right. Yeah, 247 on SPY. But all right, guys, I'm going to wind it down. Appreciate you guys being here for the Power Hour stream. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow for another Power Hour stream starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Doing the same thing, basically just going to recap my trading day from the beginning of the day on the Discord to 3 p.m. when we start the stream. But all right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same discounts going on as always at the top. 15% or 50% off the Discord right now. And then 15% off the indicators if you guys want to get involved in the business. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow around 3 p.m. Eastern for another Power Hour stream. You guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.